Hey there, friends. Get ready for a heartwarming chat with Patty Gottschalk, author of the Explore with God children's book series. Join us as we delve into her inspiring journey and the deeper meaning behind her delightful stories. Stay tuned for a truly uplifting discussion. Let's go. And welcome to the Kingdom Visionary Show. Today we have a very, very special guest today. We have Patty Gottschalk with us. She is an author, an amazing author, and she has a new series out called Explore with God series. So it's a children's book series, but I'm not going to go too deep into the series. I'm going to let her talk about this book series. It's actually a prelude to a much bigger project that she has going on. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking and giving you her resume. I'm going to let this wonderful woman of God tell you about herself and what she's got going on. Go ahead,
All
Patty.
right. Thank you, Nicole, and thanks for having me on here. This is exciting. We got our technology to work.
I know. Finally.
So I'm Patty Gottschalk, and I'm an experienced designer. That's how I'm geared. I've been this way my whole life. I had a career in event planning and fundraising, but there's been a project on my heart since I was 14 years old that I've been working on for quite some time. But in the meantime, I have written a series of books called it's the Explore with God series, and it's here. I'll show you. My book just came out right here, and hot off the press. This is the first of 7 in this series, and it's a fun series where a child gets to go with actually with Jesus in and out of the Garden of Eden to the and in this book, in future books, they go to the foundation of the world, the storehouses of snow, for a walk in the deep, a lot of fun things. But this is it's a sweet book for children to just see what it's like to be with God, really. And Nicole, do you mind if I share a few things about the book?
No, yeah, go ahead. I'd love to.
Okay.
Love to have you do that.
So when I was a kid, I used to love to lay in the green grass. I grew up in the Northwest, so I used to love to lay in the green grass and look up at the clouds, and I'd see all these different shapes. So in my book, they're laying in the Garden of Eden. Here's one image where they're looking up at the clouds, and the clouds take on the shapes of sailing ships and fields of sheep, and Jesus is telling the child with him that he speaks to him through the sky, through the clouds, and he's always speaking to him in his creation. And so here's one example. And then he takes them on all kinds of adventures. And one of the things they do is they ride horses. They ride really fast on horses through the tall grass that's waving in the wind, and they laugh and they just have a great time doing that. And so they have all kinds of adventures. They in the garden, they get to see all the things that were planted. They play with the animals. Here's a picture of an image of some of the animals that they get to go up to, and they're not scary. They're fun, and they have a good time. And then there are lessons in the books where God is speaking to us always in creation, and he takes the child by a pool of water, and the sun is shining on the water, and you know how it is when you look on the water and you see what looks like a sea of diamonds. And so he shows him what looks like diamonds on the water, and he says, this is what I put these here to show you how much I value you. And that shows him how important he is to God. And then there's another point where it's getting late, it's dark. They look up at the sky, and they see, you can't really probably see it in this image, but there's a zillion stars. And he shows them a zillion stars and says, I named every one of these stars, and you are more important to me than all of them put together.
Oh,
So,
amen.
so that's basically, that's part of what happens in this book and on this adventure.
Mhm.
And
So, okay, so you have a series of books, children's books, and each series has different adventures that they're going on, right?
right.
Correct? And this kind of ties back into your larger project that you have coming soon, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So,
Um,
I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand what it's like to have a relationship with God and with Jesus. They don't um, they religion kind of gets in put into the mix where they just don't understand how pure and how beautiful the relationship can be. And that, I mean, in the Bible, it says that God talks to us. He's always talking to us. He's always thinking about us. It says in Psalms 139 that he thinks about us more than all the sands and all the beaches in the world. And so, which means he's always thinking about us, always wanting to be with us and talk to us. And that's what it was like in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. He just wanted to be with them. And it was a beautiful relationship. Well, that's what he wants today. But a lot of people don't see his heart, and they don't understand that about him. And so for children, I wanted to paint that picture so they can go on adventures and see what he's like. He laughs. He's the creator of humor and creativity, and so they get to have fun.
mhm. So you said that that's kind of what you want to have happen or have them experience in the book, but what actually inspired you to do this? Um, how did that come about that you sat down one day and said, I'm just going to write some children's books?
Well, I've been working on the bigger project for so many years and just so excited about that. But in the meantime, I wanted to do something that I could get out there so people could start seeing what the bigger project is going to be. And it's really all about the heart of God. So last a year ago, October, I was thinking about that, praying about it, and I've always been intimidated about writing a book
Mhm.
and very impressed with anyone who can do that because it seemed like it was really a painstaking thing. Not talking about AI, by the way, which I didn't use, but not putting it down either. But anyway, I thought that would be really hard to do, and I just started writing, and pretty soon it just the ideas kept coming and coming. And I realized that on this topic, I could probably write 20 books. There's so much to write about. And
Mm.
it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I love this. And we have this book series. So how many series right now do we have? How many?
We have 7 in this series.
There are 7 books in the series. Okay.
Yes.
One series, but 7 books.
Yes, and we are going to also have a series for the bigger project for every area in the bigger project.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna keep writing as long as the ideas are coming.
Mhm. Mhm.
But this is a good time. Like I just introduced my book a couple days ago, and Easter's coming. So if anyone wants an idea for Easter, this is a really beautiful thing to give to for parents and grandparents to read to their kids and grandkids.
Mhm. So I want to back up a little bit. And you said that you kind of had this vision at 14 years old um to to put something out in the world. And at that time, did you understand that this was a calling that, I mean, you had the vision at that time, but was it clear to you that this would be something that you would be working on the rest of your life?
Well, I when the vision ended, I just knew that God wanted this built. I was 14. I had no idea how to do it. And really it's taken decades of learning more about the subject, having him download ideas to me. And I believe really that another reason it's taken so long is because the culture needed to be ready for this.
Hmm.
And I saw technology in the vision that didn't exist until recently. So why I was given the vision so many years ago, I wondered a lot, but it's a big vision. It takes a lot of preparation for this kind of a thing. And I'm excited because I believe we're getting, and we're very close.
Hmm.
And yeah, and it's gonna need products to go along with it so that people can start learning about it,
Hmm.
about the
What,
subject.
why do you think why do you think these kinds of things are important to God? Why do you think you writing a children's book series, or another person being told to write another book, a book of poems, another person being told to go start a um, competition to Starbucks? Why do you think those kinds of things are important?
Well, God wants to reach people. He wants them to see his heart. And not everyone is going to walk into a church. And maybe if they do, they won't see him clearly. And some do, some don't. Everybody is different, and everybody has different things that they're drawn to. And so God has instilling in people witty and creative inventions and ways to reach people and let them know that he cares and that he has a plan for them and he wants to be with them.
Oh, I love that. And that he does. He cares. And the kingdom too, right? I mean, we think about the kingdom, and God's kingdom come, his will be done here.
Mhm.
And every piece of what we do, whether it be more in the spiritual sense or in the physical sense, as a believer, that's us bringing the kingdom here. Because if it's ordained by God, I mean, this is what we have. And most certainly he cares, if nothing else, about our children and what is being fed to them in their minds. And I think it's just such a beautiful thing that God has given you this thing to write, to give to children, so they can understand how valued they are by him. So much value in
Absolutely.
children.
Yeah, and it's not just for children, because as parents and grandparents read these stories, it's going to speak to them too, you
Yeah,
know.
I can't wait for my copy to come, so I'm gonna read it with my granddaughter. We're across the country from each other. However, we have Zoom, and we have Facebook, what do you call that, Messenger, where you can call and that. So there's ways to do it and get it done, but I'm excited about the book and what you're doing. So tell me, if you could tell our audience today, is there anything else did I miss something? Is there something that you really wanted to share about the book, or just anything in general that you want to share to our audience that may help them?
Absolutely. One thing about the book, I've got a copy here. Um, I also want people to be engaged, so they read a story, but then after the story, I put in let me just show you. I put in the images in the book, and then beside that, I have activities for them and different messages and things they can write about and get them thinking about, what the picture is all about. So is it, in addition to reading a story, they're also engaging in activities. And that's just really important for them to be able to take it a step beyond, because the stories in the Bible are so deep. And
Mhm.
when there's so much you can do to make them come alive, and the whole idea is to make them come alive.
Man, I love that. So another one other quick question. Looking back at your journey, what are some key lessons that you've learned about faith and about um, birthing a vision? Um, through what you've done?
Oh boy, that is a loaded question. Uh, I was probably born impatient. I
Mm,
know I was. I always like to be on the move and see things come quickly. And it's been decades that I've been waiting for this. So I've had to learn patience, and I've had to learn to trust God, because I I knew he gave me the vision, and there were times when I had to say, is it really going to happen? Did you really intend for me to do this? Because there's so much involved, and there was a lot of waiting, but in the waiting process, he was helping me to go deep and developing my knowledge, my experience, and my character, and
mm,
also bringing the right people in. We've got quite a team,
yeah.
and they needed to come in, and there was so much about it, so much to it, and I'm going to be honest, it was frustrating. It's been
Mm,
frustrating at times, because I wanted it to happen 20 years ago or
mhm,
30. Um, but I had to always give it back and say, okay, I trust you. I know that it's you know the perfect timing, and your timing is perfect. So that,
love that.
I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah. Well, I do have another question too, and I might have one after that. I don't know.
okay.
But yeah, so I know we know kind of why, and we kind of talked a little bit about why children are important to God. Why are they, what do you see for them? Why is this book series, and why are these children important to you? And them having this book, this series, why is it important to you?
Oh, children are so important to God, and it's so hard to see their loss of innocence. It's so hard to see people trying to hurt children in any way at all. And I want them to know that they're important, to know that there's a plan for them. And I want them to come alive and feel important,
Mm,
and care about themselves and others, and just to be able to discover who they were created to be. And
mm,
so I think, with all the noise in the world and all the things that are trying to get their attention, I want them to be able to just hear, get into these stories, and just enjoy them, and just know that they don't have to be anything they're not, and just it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience for them, and it
mhm.
it helps it orient them to who they are. I
Is there a particular thing or situation that happened? Was there a moment for you where you were like, because I think about the whole, sex trafficking thing and all this other kind of stuff. And for me, that's what gave me this heart for children, right? In your heart, I see you all the time, really kind of, um, your concern is always for the children and the young adults. So was there a moment or something that happened in your life where, that you can pinpoint where they just became important to you?
Not really. I mean, I think they always were important. I mean, animals are important too. Anything innocent,
Mhm,
I just want to preserve that.
mhm,
And I see that the beauty in that innocence. And when I see a child getting hurt, it really bothers me.
mm,
And so, I mean, I can't really pinpoint a time in my life when something happened. I just see a lot. I've seen a lot of children being hurt over the
mhm,
years, and I've seen things that were put on them that they weren't ready for, that they were too young for, and then it changed them.
mm,
And
yeah,
I mean, that happened to me too. I was forced to grow up before I was ready.
Mm,
And I know what happens and what that does, and it robs you of a future beautiful experience, if you want to put it that way.
mm,
You know, when your innocence is taken away from you, then you can't experience the full beauty that you were meant to have when you were ready.
mm,
So I want children, I want them to be ready. I want them to be able to just feel secure in being a child and not have pressures that they shouldn't be having now. And and I want them to enjoy their childhood. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time.
mm. I love that. I love that. Well, it's so wonderful to hear your heart. And absolutely love this book that you're doing. Love that there's activities that can that take place inside the book, that it's not just something they can read, but something they can do together with their families. Now, are all the books in the series, do they all have the activity aspect, or is it just the first one?
No, they will all have the
Aw-
activity. They all have the activity aspect. And
Awesome.
so because we have to get people out there doing things, and actually this is going to get the parents and grandparents to get out of their comfort zone a bit. And Nicole, you know a lot about getting out of your comfort zone
Yeah,
because
a little bit.
every time we go to the theme park convention, you make me dance and do all. You didn't. I didn't go down that crazy water slide that you went down. But yeah, you make
Yeah.
me a lot. So you know what that's all about. But it's really good to get outside of your comfort zone every once in a while and be a kid.
It is. And did you know, I wanted you did you know that what is it? Oh gosh, it's something of the seas. One of those big cruise ships, I think it's a Disney cruise ship. Do you know that they now have that water slide? I forget what it's called, the one that
Oh
goes
yes.
straight
Oh
down
yeah.
on the cruise ship.
Oh, they do. I saw it when we were in Florida last time.
I'm like, this is
Yeah.
crazy. They're putting these things on cruise ships now. It's amazing. That's the best ride ever. But water.
Well, yeah, and with projection mapping and all, and so many things, there's so much we can do to bring experiences to life, and
Mm.
it's exciting.
Yeah, I love that. So that's your thing. Your thing is to bring experiences to life. And which is why you want that book to have those activity pieces, right? So it's
Oh,
not just, them reading, although, parents and grandparents reading to their kids and grandkids is an experience, but then you take it a step further where they really kind of get into actually bringing that stuff off the paper so that they can have a different experience with it as well. And that your larger project will do a lot of that. It'll be that on steroids, right?
oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
So they'll
And because
get
we
the
need a shift, we need a shift in our culture, and no, there's too much focus on negativity,
mm,
and it's just been so serious for the last few years, and very difficult. And so I want to bring people back to a point where they can laugh again and smile and enjoy life and enjoy each other and see the heart of God. So that's what it's all about.
mhm. All right. I love that. So we're coming up on our time. However, I want to have you back and I want to have that conversation about the culture. Are you willing to come back and talk about that? I think that would be a really good conversation, especially from the perspective of what you've got going on. If we can just, I'd love to pick your brain about that and how you feel about the culture, and maybe even, if the Lord is speaking to you at all about where things are going, and how things may be able to shift.
Okay, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I wish we could do it right now, but that's okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, well,
No,
thank
but we'll yeah,
you.
we'll do it again,
Okay.
to do that and just talk about the culture, because it is you're right. We need a shift because we're going down.
Yeah,
The slope has been slippery for a long time, and
it
it
has.
yeah, it needs some, we need to take some of the oil off the slope. So
We do,
so
and we are. We are. I mean, this is an exciting time to be alive because there's a lot that's going on, a lot that's coming, and this is a beginning.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, my friend, for being here. And could you tell my audience just once more, or the first time actually, how they'll get a hold of you and how they can get a hold of you in this book?
Yes, yes. So we have our company is Whim Entertainment, and the book, I'm going to hold it up again. It's Walk with Me, and if you go to on Amazon, if you go to Walk with Me, it's an Experience a Garden or Walk with Me, Patty Gottschalk. It will take you right to the book. And I
Awesome.
had somebody that it's coming pretty quickly. Someone ordered it 2 days ago and got it yesterday.
I
So
love that.
hopefully that will happen.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well,
All right.
all right, guys. I just encourage you to go out and buy this book. Buy it for your grandkids, your kids, your nieces and nephews. This is a wonderful book, a wonderful addition to any kid's life. And it's in a series set, so there's so much that you can gain from it. I think and spending that experiential time with your niece, nephew, son, daughter, whatever, and again, here on Kingdom Visionaries, what we are called to do is to support each other and to grow with each other. And this is a way that we can support, but also get blessed at the same time because this is a wonderful book. Until then, make it a great day. Thanks.
Thank you.